Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Janera, and today I'll be reviewing Makiage's Woke Up Like This foundation, as well as Rare Beauty's new Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. So if you're interested in seeing the try-on, review, and wear test of these products, then keep on watching. Alright, so before we get into the specs of this foundation, I just want to show you guys what the process is to choose your correct shade. So basically you just go to Makiage's website, and then you'll see a Find My Match link right here, and then you just click that, and this is the page that comes up next. And I have oily skin selected because I have oily skin, and then here it's going to ask what kind of coverage you're craving. So it's from lightweight to full coverage, and I usually prefer a medium to full buildable coverage, so I'm going to select that there. On the next page, it's going to ask you to choose which finish you prefer, and I'm going to go with matte because I have oily skin. I usually prefer a matte finish. On this next page, it shows you a couple of pictures, and it goes from fair to light to deep dark. For me, I think I'm somewhere in between tan to deep and deep, so I'm going to go with tan to deep. So on the next page, there's 4 different options to choose from, and I'm supposed to say which one is closest to me. And then on the next page, you have another set of options. Just choose which one you think matches you best again. And then there's another page, just choose your best shade. And then on this next page, you want to choose your undertone. So the options are, I don't know, help me decide. Balance/neutral is the second option. Pink, red, cool, third option. And I'm gonna go with the last option, which is yellow, golden, and warm, because I do have an olive undertone. And then on the next page is the shade that they match me to, which I think is pretty accurate. And then this last step is to just put your email in, and then it'll send you your perfect match. And then what I also love about this company is that they allow you to try the foundation for 14 days completely risk-free. So you can try it out. If you don't like it, you can return it. And if you do like it, then you pay the full price of the foundation. They did match me to shade 195, so that's the shade I'll be using today and trying out for you guys. So I'm gonna swatch it on my hand and compare it to a couple of other foundation shades that I have right now, just so we can see how the shades compare. And here are the swatch comparisons. This is the 195 from Makiage. This next shade is from Hourglass, the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation in 14.5 Warm. This next swatch is the House Labs foundation in shade 440. And then this last swatch is shade 44Y from Sephora Best Skin Ever. So as you guys can see, the shade is very similar to these other shades, and it also has a warmer undertone. So I do think that this is a pretty good shade match. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised, because taking the shade match quiz online, I was a little skeptical. I didn't think it would match me to the right undertone and the right shade. So let's test out this foundation and the shade match. I'm gonna apply 1 pump to the right side of my face, and then we'll see how this formula looks. So this is 1 pump of the foundation. And then to blend out this foundation, I'll be using their number 100 foundation blending brush. And it's a pretty dense brush, but not too dense, and it's pretty soft as well. So far, I'm liking how lightweight this formula is. It doesn't really feel like anything is on the skin. And then I also think it has a pretty good amount of coverage as well. I think if I wanted to do full coverage, I would add another pump. But because I'll be using Rare Beauty's new Under Eye Brightener, I think that it would pair best with a lighter coverage foundation. So I'm just gonna keep this at 1 pump on each side. I'm not gonna add another one. And then as you can see, there's not a lot of redness on this side as compared to this side with no foundation. So it really is giving a your skin but better type of look. It's very natural. So I'm gonna apply another pump to the other side. Okay, so this is the finish of the foundation up close. No more redness, but it still looks like my skin. And I think that this shade match is spot on. Before we get into the new Under Eye Brightener, let's talk a little bit more about this foundation formula. So it does retail for $45, and it comes in 50 different shades. They also claim that it has a lightweight texture with buildable medium to high coverage with a natural matte finish. And just from the application, we can already see that those 3 claims are very accurate. And then it also has optically corrective powders. It's enriched with vitamin E for anti-aging benefits, hyaluronic acid for hydration, protection, and filling wrinkles, and then it's 100% cruelty-free. So now let's get into this new Positive Light Under Eye Brightener from Rare Beauty. At Sephora, they did have a 24-hour app-exclusive purchase option for this product, so I did go ahead and take advantage of that, and I got the shade medium tan. And then the official launch date isn't until December 23rd. So this is a super lightweight liquid that visibly brightens, hydrates, and awakens under the eyes with sheer flexible coverage. It's also vegan, cruelty-free, and retails for $25. And as I said before, I did pick up the shade medium tan. And this is the metal applicator. It's supposed to have a cooling sensation for the eyes and combat the puffiness. So first I want to swatch this under eye brightener and compare the shade to a couple of my other current concealers just to kind of help you guys decide which shade to go with. There are only 5 different options, which I think is okay because it's a brightener, not a concealer. This is the under eye brightener in medium tan. This is Too Faced Born This Way concealer in butterscotch. This is Bobbi Brown Skin Full Cover in the shade golden, which I think is like identical to the under eye brightener shade. The second to last swatch is Sephora's Best Skin Ever in 33.5Y. And then this last shade is from Huda Beauty in the shade Praline. And here are the swatches up close. So Rare Beauty did explain that you can use this under eye brightener 2 different ways. You can either use it on its own for the no makeup look, or you can add it under your concealer just to add extra brightening. So I want to do a wear test where I wear it 2 different ways. So on the right side, I'll do just the brightener, and then on the left side, I'll add some concealer after adding it on. So let's see how this product looks on its own. And I'm using a pretty good amount. And I really do like this metal tip applicator. It feels very cool on the skin. So let's blend this with the fingers. And this is supposed to be perfect for those no makeup days, like you're just running errands or going to the gym. This surprisingly has more coverage than I thought. And you can already see this radiant finish. Yeah, I think I used a little too much, but that's okay because the other side I'll have concealer so it won't look too crazy. Yeah, as you guys can see, this product does add a lot of brightness to the under eyes. And then it also has like a very radiant finish. It's super lightweight with sheer coverage. Even though I'm wearing a little bit of a medium coverage foundation underneath, I do actually think that this product would work really well with a skin tint or on its own. So let me go ahead and add it to the other side. I'll try to use the same amount. And let's blend this out. Yeah, I definitely agree that this would look really good on its own. Like it just has a very natural skin-like finish. I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty concealer on top. This is in the shade Praline, and I'm just gonna use a little bit. Okay, so this is the side with the concealer. And honestly, I think that the side with no concealer looks a lot better. Like I think this brightener does a good job at brightening the under eyes on its own. I don't think you need to add any concealer on top. I don't know if it's because it has a very radiant finish, but it definitely looks a lot better on this side. All right, so I'm gonna go off camera and finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and the last thing I wanted to add to complete this look is Rare Beauty's Positive Light Silky Touch Highlighter. Since it just came out last week, I just wanted to apply it on camera. You can use it with setting spray if you want to change the powdery formula, but I do like how it looks dry, so I'm just gonna keep it like this. And I'm still really loving this highlighter formula. It's very lightweight on the skin, it looks very natural. And then the more you blend it, the more natural it becomes. All right, so this is a completed makeup look for today. And I still think that the side with just the brightener and no concealer looks a lot better than the side with the concealer on top. But that's still very interesting to me because it's only a brightener, not a concealer. So the fact that it does a better job of brightening the under eyes over the concealer is very impressive. And then I'm also really liking the formula of this Makiage foundation. I like how it starts off with medium coverage and then you can build it to full if you want to. But I do think that this medium coverage finish looks really natural. And then because I have oily skin, I will be using setting spray prior to the wear test. So I'll see you guys in about 8 hours and we'll see how these formulas hold up. All right, so I'm back with the 8-hour wear test and I'll get closer so we can see how these formulas held up. I like how lightweight this foundation is and that you can build it from medium to full coverage. I also think that the shade match is very spot on, like it's a perfect shade match. And I think that it's super easy to take that power match quiz online, which is very impressive just because not only was it able to match me to the correct undertone, but to the perfect shade as well. And then I love the convenience of their no pressure policy where you can try out the foundation for 14 days for free at home. And then if you don't like it, you can return it. If you do like it, just purchase it. I really like that flexibility and I think that that allows them to stand out from other brands. One thing to note, when I used to use Urban Decay's All Nighter setting spray, it used to make the makeup really matte, and then once I switched over to Charlotte Tilbury's setting spray, it gives the makeup a dewy finish from the beginning. So even though my face looks a little shiny on camera, it's actually really dry in person. And even though I have oily skin, I do actually prefer the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray more. Like, I like that it has like a dewy finish without feeling dewy. Like, I think the Urban Decay setting spray just kept my face too dry, if that makes sense. Like, this setting spray just gives your makeup finish a really nice glow. I also think that this brightener held up a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't touch it up at all throughout this wear test, and I also didn't add any setting powder. I just wanted to see how it would last on its own. I think that this formula would be perfect for those who like to use a skin tint and prefer that no makeup look, because it's very lightweight on the skin, and then it also does a really good job at brightening the under eyes without using a concealer. And then I also love that it's very hydrating. It's not dry under my eyes at all. So yeah, I do recommend both of these formulas for oily and combination skin. If you have questions about Il Makiage's Woke Up Like This foundation or Rare Beauty's Positive Light Under Eye Brightener, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for tuning in for another video. If you are new here, welcome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.